Hey everyone, it's Linnea from Miss Ink Stamps. We're going to create a really fun card today, mixing up a couple of stencils and one of my favorite Miss Ink stamp sets, the Bubbles stamp set, which is super cute with all these fun little critters just running around blowing bubbles. So let's get started here. I wanted to create a multicolored background, but not have any of the colors be so powerful that they overtook each other. So I'll start with my stencil that I want to be in the most in the background, and that is the Sparkles stencil. I'm going to temporarily adhere that in place over a piece of white cardstock with some purple tape, and then I'm just blending some kind of like a dark minty green ink over the background. This is going to be very subtle, and I'm going to stencil over this with another stencil. I grabbed the Starburst stencil from the Rainbow Sky stencil set, and over this stencil I'm going to blend a darker kind of teal blue ink, one that's still going to play nicely with that minty ink in the background, but I wanted to have something that was a little bit darker so that where the Starburst stencil overlapped the sparkles, it would cover up rather than having those sparkles kind of show through. Now I cleaned off my stencil, added it back over my card front, and then shifted it slightly. You can see it's not straight on my card front. And I am going to use some lovely lavender glitz glitter gel from ThermoWeb. Spread this over the stencil. I'm using a stencil pal so that I can get really even coverage. Then I'm going to peel this back, and you're going to see I have those minty green sparkles in the background, that blue teal color from the Starburst, and then I shifted and offset just a little bit, and I'll have that glitz glitter gel on the top. So everything plays well together. All of those colors look really nice together, and each layer overlaps the next so that it doesn't show through. So I just built up a whole bunch of different patterns in the background. Now I'm going to do some stamping and coloring. I stamped out a couple of the foxes and some bubbles and the little mouse sitting on top of a bubble from the Bubbles stamp set from Miss Ink Stamps. This stamp set is absolutely adorable. These little critters are so cute, and you can use them for scene cards or for a more simple card like we're doing today. I'm just going to keep a little bit of my coloring in. I color very simply. I do like to color from dark to light. I find that that increases the look of the shadows, and I like that look. But there's many ways to color. A lot of people color a lightest color first, and then work their way up to their medium and their dark, and then back down to medium and light. Color however you are most comfortable with, whatever medium you're most comfortable with. Right now I've been reaching for my Copic markers, so that's what I'm coloring with. For the body of my fox, I used YR27, 24, 23, and right now I'm going over with my lightest color, the YR21, and that's where I'm just going to color all over everything and give everything a nice blend. Now for the tip of the tail and the tummy and face of the fox, I'm going to use some light earth brown markers. So I have E53, E51, and E50. And again, just coloring with my darkest, adding some lines where I want there to be shadows, blending it out with my medium, and then coming all over the whole area with my lightest color. I colored in the rest of my critters, and now I'm going to go and color these bubbles. Now bubbles are something that I've never really thought about coloring, but recently there has been some inspiration on Instagram of people coloring with purples and blues for their bubbles. I've always just kind of outlined them with the lightest gray marker that I can to make them look clear, but I thought that since I'm using blues and purples in the background, I thought why not bring in some purples and blues into the bubbles and make everything kind of go together. So there's really no rhyme or reason here. I grabbed some light purples that I have, the lightest purples, and some of the lightest blues that I have, And I'm just going to color in these bubbles. One side will be purple and one side will be blue, and I'll kind of overlap them just a little bit in the middle and give them that shiny bubble appearance. And I am just going back and forth, building up color until I think it's dark enough. So I'm just layering up my markers because I didn't want to go to a darker marker and have it be too dark. I thought rather than doing that, I would have just 2 or 3 layers of markers. So I went ahead and I used the coordinating bubbles dies, and I cut out all of these cute little images, and now I'm just going to play around with positioning them how I want them to be on my card. I knew that I just wanted to have the foxes kind of playing around, batting the bubbles back and forth, and that little mouse floating away. There are lots of cute sentiments in the Bubbles stamp set, but I decided to grab one from the new Sunshine and Rainbow stamp set, and it just says it's a good day to be happy, and I thought that would be cute for an all occasion, everyday type of card. I went ahead and added some foam squares behind all of my little critters, but I'm using some of my favorite liquid adhesive and just adding a dot of that on top of the foam squares. That way I can be sure that that foam is going to hold on tight because I have that glitz glitter gel in the background that is both raised and textured. So the foam will give me the dimension, and the little dot of my liquid adhesive is going to make sure that these little critters are not going to go anywhere when I put this card through the mail. So here you go. I hope you love all the different layers in the background, from the sparkles to the double stenciling with that little starburst stencil and my cute little bubbles characters. Thank you all for watching this video. I've linked the products I used below in the video description, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!